Firstly, a disclaimer. If you have not played Omori yet, I advise you to do so. This video is filled to the brim of spoilers, so if you want to play the game yourself, please do so first. With that, let's begin. Hiro, the kind and responsible one of the gang, and also one of the oldest in the group along with Mari. He usually keeps a sound mind when making decisions, whether or not it's in the dream world, but also instances of Hiro taking in charge in the real world where he informs Sunny and Kel that Basil needs to be put in warm clothing after getting pushed off into the river by Aubrey, a whiz kid extremely good in mathematics and hot dog eating. Hiro has it all together, or does he? The early development of Hiro was depicted in the Omori Boy comics a long time ago, around August 2013. Hiro and the other characters have probably already been pitched a long time ago, but this comic archive from OMOCAT actually tells the story of Omori going out of his white door and finding a group of friends waiting for him. Sounds familiar? The group of friends then went on adventures and fun with Omori, where they would eat candy fruits, go on swings, jump in swimming pools, and many more. I'll leave the link down below so you can read the entire thing yourself. Hiro, it seems, from early development, has already had the role of being an older brother to Kel, which we can see in the comics where Hiro is seen carrying Kel. His height differences is also rather noticeable in the comic as well. In the comic panel, we can actually see Kel and Hiro playing cards, which definitely made its way to the game as well. The room, likely dubbed as the neighbor's room in further development, was usually where Hiro and everyone else resides in. Furthermore, the Kickstarter Omori demo that was released in 2018 revealed more information of the game itself, including Hiro. While there hasn't been too many updates before the initial release, we can see that much like the other characters, Hiro has already established a foothold in the gang without too many changes. It's just a theory of mine, but I think in early development, Hiro might have been characterized as that dude that really fusses about his hair and really cares about his appearance. But the basis of my theory is only based on this picture I found on OMOCAT's Tumblr quite a long time ago. Anyway, I'm glad that Hiro is the nice and friendly guy that he is today. Now, let's talk about the dream world. Hiro is characterized as a sweet, responsible, and charismatic individual in the game. He wears stripped pajamas and his hair is a little disheveled. An easy smile also appearing on his face constantly, he has the ability to charm and persuade others far more easily than other characters. The mailbox even offers discounts when you tag Hiro in the dream world. While Kel and Aubrey are the ones usually arguing and just being brats in general, Hiro acts as the middle ground, speaking reason and telling them to stop making a ruckus and apologize to one another. Mainly because of that, Hiro is seen as the leader of the entire gang, since Kel and Aubrey listens to him the most. Omori just tags along, I suppose. Furthermore, Hiro is actually afraid of spiders, or called arachnophobia in scientific terms. You can see that in the Firefly Forest segment, where Hiro has the afraid emotion whilst encountering enemies in that area. As much as he is the voice of reason within the group, he can also falter and listen to others just as easily as well. Aubrey did beg Hiro to watch the Sweetheart concert even when they were supposed to be finding Basil, and still Hiro relented. This is only an example of this, but we can see multiple instances where Hiro just can't deny someone's request because he's far too nice to say no. Hiro is also quite close with Mari in the dream world, since Mari blatantly displays her affection towards Hiro, while Hiro tends to get quite embarrassed by her words. It's obvious that Hiro really cares for Mari as well, since in the photo album from Basil, it showed that they were holding hands while napping during a picnic. I just find it really cute that Hiro embraces Mari after the Firefly Forest segment. Hero functions pretty similar to a healer in conventional RPGs, and honestly it really feels rather special that Hiro is the leader of the gang and also the oldest, right? Because most of the time healers are rarely considered as leaders in RPGs, since they usually are like brittle mages with staffs or something. With moves like Cook, Refresh and Tea Time, he ensures that the team remains healthy while the other teammates bring about the pain. His follow-ups also help his teammates to heal some heart and juice in a pinch, although personally I don't find it as useful as other follow-ups. Do you have a different opinion? Comment down below so I can hear what you think. Now, onto the real world. What makes him unique in the real world is the fact that while Sunny and the gang was dealing with the trauma of losing Mari, Hiro was dealing with it by isolating himself by studying. In fact, we only ever get Hiro's inclusion in the game in the real world quite late, and it only happens when he saves Basil and Sunny from the river. From then on, we can definitely see some differences from his dream world counterpart. He seems more reserved, telling others not to worry about him all the time, although he probably felt really bad losing Mari without knowing the truth. Hiro had mentioned that he had blamed himself for Mari's death, and it was rather difficult for Hiro to even accept that she really just passed away. It was only at the last day of the game in the neutral or good ending route, where if you buy flowers from Fix-It and go to Mari's grave, you get to see the following cutscene. From there, we can see that Hiro really hasn't visited Mari's grave at all. Even before all of this, Cal did mention that Hiro was devastated from the loss of Mari, even resulting in the brothers fighting. You can find that after fighting Aubrey at the church on the last day. Alright, let's backtrack a little. We all know that Hiro feels quite terrible for not being present when everyone was grieving, but the way that you can find little cutscenes or segments that could potentially be easily missed if you don't go off your way to do so really makes your heart break, in my opinion. There was this sequence in the game where you go to the piano room to see a hallucination of Mari playing the piano and apologizing to Sunny for pushing him too hard, but then it breaks off when Sunny comes into the room. He tells you not to worry and go back to sleep. But if you leave the room and come back, you can see Hiro crying and sitting on the piano. It has been 4 years, but we can really see that Hiro still misses Mari a lot. Furthermore, we can see that Hiro's arachnophobia only grew worse. So bad that he just freezes on the spot until the spider is taken care of. In terms of Hiro's family, we all know that his family generally prefers Hiro over Cal, which is a little unfortunate, but I guess biasness does happen in families to some extent, believe it or not. Hiro was also incredibly smart, since he had an assortment of different trophies in his room when being a gold winner for a math Olympiad. He also got first for eating the most hot dogs, which is also a little funny, but a nice touch regardless. One thing that made me feel terrible for Hiro is the fact that he gave up his initial dreams of becoming a cook after Omori passed away. He listened to his parents and is studying in college to be a doctor instead. It's really a pity, since Hiro did display a lot of interest in cooking when he was younger, and he was actually quite good at it, right? It really makes you wonder that if Mari haven't really AO'd the pizza here, would Hiro have been any different? In Basil's photo album, this time the raw one, we can see more pictures, including one that had Mari and Hiro spending their time together more often than not. Basil even wrote that they were a match made in heaven. However, Basil also did mention that Mari's dad would be angry if he found out about Hiro's and Mari's relationship, which might be why they kept it hush-hush most of the time. However, we can still see that they really enjoyed each other's company in the pictures, which only feels really heartbreaking to know that Hiro must have really loved Mari. And losing a loved one can be one of the worst feelings in the entire world. I'm not saying that everyone's own pain and grief was less proportional to Hiro's or whatever, but his pain just feels quite different because the fact that at some point in his life he had a spot in his heart just for Mari, and the fact that he had to face the truth and that Mari is gone, it would probably be quite terrible. Now, I'm going to talk about a little theory I thought of myself. Mainly if Hiro did feel terrible for Mari's loss and not know the true reason why she died, did he feel like he was the reason for the cause? Just thinking about it makes me want to melt, so I'm not gonna do that. In fact, if you have any crazy theories about Hiro, do write down in the comment section if you like. If I missed out anything or made a mistake, don't hesitate to point it out as well. Thank you for watching.